Well, hello out there to all you wisdom walkers. Want to be wisdom walkers, have been wisdom walking, need to be wisdom walking. This is Jojopah Maria and Saroma coming to you with astrology for self mastery for July the 12th through the 19th. Yes. We're in this kind of middle, coming to a middle place in the month of July that has so many planetary aspects. In fact, this period that I'm going to share with you, there is this sequence of three. So the number three is pretty powerful right now. And the number three is what actually, how can I say, calls something into being because it is a number that gives you the fullness of a situation because it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Yeah. So when you do something in threes, that's kind of what's going on. And so we've got like one day, and then the next day, there's going to be like three aspects with a formation of some sacred geometry I'll tell you about. Then we get another just one day of an aspect, and then three aspects in the following day. And then again, break, one day, one aspect, and then another one day where there's three aspects. So this number three it seems to be pretty powerful for us. And we'll see what's going to happen here. I'm very excited to share this with you. I'm trying to find my little banner here that says welcome for you. There it is. Welcome to Astrology for Self Mastery. So I'm going to keep this short today. So let me share my screen and start giving you some of this great information here. So here's this quote for the month of July, which I really love. Narayana Montufar is a noted astrologer. She's one of the lead astrologers for the website astrology.com, which I do use a lot. And as it says here, she's saying this is an important month, majorly important month because we have this collective release of energy that has been stuck below the surface for quite some time. Yeah. And as she says, at a personal level, we must make a big change in the area of our charts ruled by Taurus. Yes, the bull. Something in our lives is begging to be released, and the more we hold on to it, the harder things will be. Seeking liberation and freedom in this part of our lives will be key when embodying this month's vibrations. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. So, oh, and this week I did remember to turn off the music because last week I totally forgot. So, we start with this Tuesday coming up, the 12th. And we get this aspect of Venus and Gemini trining Saturn in Aquarius. And as it says, this is a transit that brings the energy of support from the universe. It's up to you to take advantage of this golden opportunity or opportunities. So be on the outlook for that. Two powerful planets, Venus and Saturn, coming together in a trine is, again, a flow aspect. So we like trines. So then, the very next day on the 13th, Wednesday, we get three aspects. And I say a half because it is a formation of this Grand Water Trine, this sacred geometry. But we start off with Mercury in Cancer sextiling Uranus in Taurus, a day full of unpredictable changes. As it's a good thing, this aspect gives us the mental fortitude to help us make quick decisions with ease. Yeah, yeah. So this is an interesting aspect that shows up same day as this full moon. Here's another aspect. This one is Venus in Gemini. Now, this is a square, so this is some tight energy, squaring Neptune in Pisces. And as it says here, now it's Venus's turn to bump heads with Neptune, and this sparks emotional tension in relationships. A manipulative person, could be you, may try to send you on a guilt trip to get what they want. Avoid them by setting strong emotional boundaries, especially with your pain body, with your own negativity. Yeah. So let me just jump back for a minute so you get to see. So we got this flow energy here, right? Mercury and Uranus, Taurus, just lovely, lovely energy going on. But at the same time, we get this square. And this is what it's kind of like with the aspects all month. It's these kind of square and a flow, square and a flow, something going on. Now, the big aspect on the 13th, of course, is the full moon in Capricorn. Now, usually this is, because Capricorn is kind of associated with our higher self in terms of, building new things, building things that are going to help us, help humanity become better, bigger structures, the use of organizations in order to make the world a better place. But this year, we have some other aspects around it that make it a little challenging. Like it says here, and it is a supermoon. That means the moon is closest to the Earth in its orbit, and it'll be the brightest one, the brightest supermoon of 2022. And as it says, it's going to be emotionally intense and can have you easily reacting out of fear because it is conjuncting Pluto, it's opposite Mercury, it's trining Uranus, which is a good thing, but it's squaring Chiron. Yeah, you get this real. So again, there's some really kind of tight stuff going on. Now, this lunation is called the buck moon in native tradition because this is when usually the bucks, the deers or the caribou, have shed all the little fuzz off their adolescent horns, and now their horns have grown fully in. Yeah. And so, as it says here, spiritually, you can think of the buck's antlers as a metaphor for harnessing your full potential, as its energy symbolizes our own patterns of shedding past layers of ourselves to become a new version of ourselves. Yes, this gets back to this whole thing that 2022 is an opportunity for us to embrace and begin living out of a new narrative. Yes. Also, as it says here, it's a time to not only step into your spiritual purpose, but also part ways with the practices, thought patterns, and habits that keep you from actualizing your full manifestation. Yeah. Yeah, very beautiful. So again, a big bright moon full of a lot of emotional intensity. You might want to lay a little low on Wednesday. Don't be reacting to what people say or do, and just focus on what it is that you need to let go of. What do you need to be releasing so that you really can become the best version of yourself this year? Now, also on this day, we have this sacred geometry of a trine forming. And a trine in astrology, especially in your personal chart, is where you've got three different planets of the same element, um, meaning that they're lined up in the space of the sky that is all the same element. So these planets are all lining up with water. Yeah. So you got Pisces, you got Cancer going on, you got Pisces going on, and you got Scorpio going on. And this brings in emotional matters, intuitive depth. So those of you who are empathetic like me, yeah, you're going to be getting some downloads starting on the 13th. It peaks in, I think it peaks on the 22nd through the 25th of this month. But it is this time of, again, this energy of emotional flow, spiritual flow that is coming in. Um, Let me tell you what one of the astrologers said, because I love, love, love what they said about this. Um, they said, the good news about this full moon's astrology, and maybe even about the entire month, is the beautiful manifestation of sacred geometry that will also be forming in the sky. A grand water trine formed by the Sun, Mercury, and the asteroid Ceres in Cancer. Neptune and Juno. Juno is another of the goddess asteroids. I thought there were only 3. There's actually 4 that are around this month. Really powerful. So Neptune and Juno were going to be in Pisces, and then the lunar south node where Scorpio is residing right now is where you get this third water, entity in this Grand Trine. Yeah. Um, the astrologer goes on to say that this will be facilitating the flow of emotions if we have ever wanted to clear our lives of stagnant people and situations that take an emotional toll on us. There isn't a better time to do so, as the universe instigates emotional release so profoundly. In particular, we are being invited to abandon old family related and ancestral stories that no longer seek to nurture us. Yes, I can't stress this enough, folks, that this is a double fire year, according to the wisdom I keep. And fire is associated with the ancestors. And so a double fire energy for this year is the ancestors saying, look, you gotta let go of imitating and repeating what we've already been through. You are not here to suffer and struggle. You're here to thrive. You're here to taste the fruits of what we had to go through. You're not here to be trying to go back and relive what we already accomplished through with the battles we already won. No, you're supposed to be creating this new world in this new age of Aquarius. So, this energy from the 13th to 22nd really brings us more of this energy for that. Another astrologer says, and I love this too, she says, dream a little dream with me. In addition, when there's an abundance of water energy, intuition is typically off the charts. Expect plenty of psychic insights and precognitive dreams or impressions. Pay attention to those gut feelings you have now and trust them because your awareness will be stronger. And that's some of that means too. You're going to be able to separate out what is your intuition versus what you think is your intuition. Yeah, really, really powerful stuff. So that's all happening on the 13th. And now we move to Saturday. And we get one aspect on Saturday, which is a sweet conjunction between the sun and Cancer. I mean, and Mercury in the sign of Cancer. And as it says here, we've already are in the middle of the current Mercury cycle because remember, Mercury came out of retrograde and that started on May 21st. So if you've initiated a new project, when the current Mercury cycle started, and I know several people that did, including me, I did start up something or restarted it. It says now it's time to bring it to life. A good day to catch up with family members and focus on doing those much needed home repairs. So, again, that beautiful Cancer energy really helping us to love on ourselves, love on our home, love on our family, and get some things going that we started. Love it. Now, here we go again. We had that one day, one aspect. Now on Sunday, the 17th, we get 3 aspects in one day again. First one, we have the Sun in Cancer trining Neptune in Pisces. Again, a trine is a flow energy. And as it says, interesting for this energy, this transit brings empathy and supports us looking at life through a different perspective while we place ourselves in other people's shoes to really understand them. I love this because to me, this is saying that we're going to be moving away from judgment and thinking we're totally right and somebody else is totally wrong. We're going to be opening up to be able to allow ourselves to have, you know, compassion. So that's really, really cool. Also, on this day, we get the sun in Cancer trining Neptune in Pisces. And again, another flow energy. And as it says, more of this empathy. And it supports us at looking at life through a different perspective while we place ourselves in other people's shoes to really understand them. So, again, 2 aspects really pushing for that message. And I'll just jump back again. So you got the sun in Cancer, Neptune and Pisces trining, and then you got the sun in Mercury. I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. It says Cancer, but it's in Mercury. Mercury in Cancer trining Neptune and Pisces. So, these three planets doing this good work. Now, the third thing that happens on this day, the aspect is Venus entering Cancer. And as it says here, the planet of love in empathetic Cancer can bring emotional highs and lows over the next 4 weeks as we are tender, protective, and caring while also moody and clinging. Yeah, so your codependent and attachment stuff can get kicked up. It says, try to love without letting it take over your entire life. Venus feels good in Cancer since both Venus and Cancer speak the same language, the language of emotions. This doesn't mean it's all warm and cozy. In Cancer, Venus squares Jupiter in Aries early in the transit and Pluto in Capricorn, and Pluto's retrograde in Capricorn later on. So there is some feistiness in the air, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Acting upon our feelings creates an energy of honesty, which facilitates trust and growth. And so, in other words, you got to bless the mess, accept the messiness, especially in interpersonal relationships that are important to us. Yeah, we can get through it. Now, on Monday, the 18th, again, we get one aspect, and this aspect is an opposition, and we haven't had those in the planetary aspects in a bit. This one is Mercury in Cancer opposing Pluto in retrograde, who's in Capricorn, retrograde in Capricorn. So, also, you might note, I put up some of the African orishas that align with the astrological signs. So, this is Imanya, who aligns with Cancer. And then I'm going to totally mess up this one's name. It's Babalu Aye, Babalu Aye, who aligns with Capricorn. And as it says here, Pluto oppositions are always intense because they bring to our immediate attention things that have been bottled up. When Pluto opposes Mercury and the Sun, notice where your resistance is triggered, what makes you angry, what makes you feel powerless. The resistance will point to something very important about yourself. This is where Pluto is asking you to level up and become stronger and more resilient, which translates into taking full responsibility for your pain and not making somebody else be your villain. Yeah, very important. Now, on Tuesday, the 19th, here we go. We get three aspects in one day. The first one is that Mercury is now entering into Leo. And as it says here, communication becomes bold with a hint of dramatic flair when Mercury enters the sign of the lion. Over the next 2 weeks, our speech becomes more confident and expressive, while our thoughts are focused on grand ideas. Our thinking and communication become more proud and confident. No more hiding behind a rock. That was Mercury when it was in Cancer. It's about speaking out, deliver that message, roar the truth. So, very powerful communication energy coming in there. Now, on the same day, we get Chiron going retrograde in the sign of Aries until December the 23rd. Now, when Chiron was direct, we look for healing outside of ourselves. We go to the doctor, we go to shaman, we go to the special guru, the coach. But when Chiron goes retrograde, we're going to be looking inside ourselves for answers. We become our own medicine. And so just be really conscious of that you're going to be called to do some of that inner work on you and have your solitude, have your still time to be able to do that. And that's going to take us right through to the end of the year. That's going to be pretty powerful. Yeah. Now, we also have on this day the sun in Cancer opposing Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. And so this is interesting. This is the first time we've had two oppositions in such a short period of time. And as it says here, there is a conflict that requires integration. We do this by learning to let go of the egoic concerns while at the same time building inner strength and resilience. It's time to act from our higher self, not from our egoic self. Again, taking responsibility for our pain. Also, remembering that the universe really does have our back and everything that's showing up that is for us to be challenged by definitely has some treasure in it. It's not just happening for no reason, and we have to really, really trust that. Yeah, yeah. So, there you have it, this astrology that's coming up, and, let me share with you a quick, comment, and it's Carmen Ray checking in from Arizona. Thank you, Carmen. Love you, love you, love you. Um, I hope that this, again, information of the planetary aspects, since there's so many of them, is helpful to you. It's interesting. There's so many of them, but they're really, when there's the three in one day, it's kind of, you can see there's a theme going on, like that one about empathy. You got two aspects really focusing on be empathetic, be compassionate. So again, there's a lot of them, but it's almost like the universe said, I've got to give you more than one of the energetics so that you really get this. So I feel that this is an intense time we're going through, but intense for what? So that we continue to let go of what can no longer serve us, letting go of the ancestral wounds, the things that, aren't really being helpful to us, that we're imitating old stuff that we don't need to be doing, carrying around old sacks of pain we don't need to be carrying around. And so the universe wants us to let that go. Thank you, Carmen. Carmen's saying it's so helpful. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm doing my work too, folks. I'm here too with it. And so I wish you just much health, much wellness, many, many blessings as you continue to navigate through this time. Um, I already did the astrology from the July 1st through to the 10th, to tomorrow. So then this one picks up, and then I will be away for a couple of for about 11 days. But I promise, 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 I will be live streaming the end of the month for you, um, because there is a powerful, "Hey, Carmen!" The 2 Carmens, I love it, 2 Carmens at once shouting out to me, thank you. Um, but on the 31st of July is a really, really huge aspect that having to do with the North Node and with Uranus, so I will tell you all about that and the several other aspects that'll be happening for the end of the month. But again, be well, be safe, take your time, slow down. Um, it's a time both in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere, to really slow down, breathe, relax, and remember, we're all in this together. Have a great rest of your evening, and I'll be back to talk with you again soon. Bye bye now.